Phonological awareness and phonemic awareness. What is phonological and phonemic awareness? Phonological awareness is the ability to recognize spoken words are made up of individual sounds. Students who are phonologically aware are linked to being successful readers. Phonemic awareness is the ability to break down words into the smallest units of sound and understanding that each sound plays an important part in a word. When a word is changed or removed, a new word is created, changing the meaning of the word. The smallest units of sound are also known as phonemes. An example of phonemic awareness is if you give a student a word like bat and you tell them to change the b sound to the m sound, are they aware that the word and the meaning has changed from bat to mat? What are the relationships to literacy and development in young children? Phonological awareness and phonemic awareness both relate to the development of literacy in young children in more ways than we may know. Children who are phonologically aware will be able to break down words into smaller sound units. With this knowledge, they will also be able to segment words to create larger words known as syllables. Recognizing syllables will show that they understand syllables begin with a sound which is called onset and that they end with a sound known as a rhyme. The first steps towards reading is understanding that sounds and print are connected. This is what is known as phonics, which phonological awareness provides the basis for. How is early reading development related to early literacy skills? Developing early literacy skills makes it easier for children to learn to read. Print concept teaches children how print works and that print conveys a message. Letter naming is critical for children to be able to make the connections of printed letters to sounds in speech. Vocabulary promotes comprehension and communication through oral and written words. The introduction of vocabulary words helps students process the role of words having meanings. Letter naming knowledge, also has been said to produce early encoding processes and tap into central processes that facilitate reading fluency and predict reading achievement. There are two types of vocabulary. Receptive vocabulary, those are words that people associate by listening or reading. And the second type is called expressive vocabulary, words that people are able to produce or know. The words children can say are far less than words that they hear and understand. Literacy skills continue. The development of phonological awareness helps students be aware that they can break down the words that they see into individual sounds. This helps students identify that sounds create words. Comprehension includes children being able to draw inferences and identify patterns and clues in the text of a story. Listening comprehension is separated into three stages, which is known as pre-listening, while listening, and post-listening. Background information is given in the pre-listening stage. Students are asked to perform certain tasks in the while listening stage, and during the post stage, students are completing follow-up activities to assess the knowledge gained through a listening activity. Students will use speech to interpret their understanding. Some activities that help develop literacy skills and modifications that can be made. The first one for print concept activity is book awareness. The teacher will introduce the parts of a book and tell what they do for the book. The students will identify the parts of the book once asked questions pertaining to the book. Students who have speech impairments can point out parts of the books once asked. Vocabulary activities. Key vocabulary activity would be an activity called draw a word. Key vocabulary will be introduced for the week. the teacher will define the words and give examples throughout the week. The teacher will say a vocabulary word and ask them to draw a picture that describes the word and explain what they have drawn. Students who are speech impaired can be provided with cards that have the vocabulary words already on them and pictures that describe the words, and they can be asked to match the picture to the word. A letter naming activity called alphabet match. The teacher could provide the students with capital letter cards and have lowercase cards scattered on the table. The teacher would then call out a letter, and the student with the letter would match the letter to its lowercase and say the name of the letter. Students with speech impairments or hearing impairments could match the letters uppercase to lowercase, and the teacher would be there to encourage and help them as they go along. A listening and speaking and comprehension activity, which I say can all go together, is a read aloud. Now, during a read aloud, teachers introduce the book, they ask questions pertaining to the book, and they provide information while reading. Now, during the story, the teacher will read the story, ask questions while they're reading, allow the children to respond, that will be their speaking, and they have to listen to be able to interpret what they heard. And the comprehension part will come in when you ask them to either sequence the story or ask them what happened in the story or why. Students who are able to comprehend well will be able to tell you the sequence of events or what was the main purpose of the story, the topic, or the title. If you have any questions or concerns about your child and their development, please reach out to your child's pediatrician for more help. Thank you.